All right, so today we're going to talk about how you can modernize your digital footprint in your organization and how effectively you can enable your organization to become data driven, how you can accelerate them, right? So modernization and acceleration, two important things which always we want to achieve, and let's see how we can do it in a more simplified manner. That's what going to be touching on quickly about our innovation. I think Caroline did a great job touching on what we do. So I'm going to speak, quickly, but I just want to appreciate all the partnerships that we have with the many organizations globally. We work closely with over 100 plus application vendors where we connect their systems for extraction, loading, and data quality, embedded data quality. So we do a lot of great engineering together. So I just want to thank that. And this is pretty much, if you guys are interested more on technology, we can talk about in a separate session. But we want to talk about the products today, basically the smart data platform, which is going to enable you to become data driven, more accelerated, and how you can make it more modernized on the digital footprint as well. So what this platform offers, you can see the smart data platform and smart business platform. It's purposefully split into two halves so that all the data problems are handled on one side and all the business or digital problems are handled on the other side. If you look at many use cases that you come across within the enterprise, is going to be around, we're going to touch on mainly the enterprise data management, this bullet, right? Enterprise data management, which is what going to give you the fullest, end-to-end data-driven culture, right? How you can assess all the existing systems, what kind of data we have, and how effectively. I hope you all can see my screen. Caroline, hope screen is coming along well, and audio is coming along well as well.
Yes, Sandhu, it's perfect. Thank you.
All right. So we'll be, focusing on the enterprise data management, which will touch majority of the things like how effectively we can assess, understand all the current existing systems, legacy or the new systems, and then what kind of data quality steps we need to do before we can consolidate all this data into a data lake, and then also establishing a very good data catalog so that all of the data governance activity can be done from one single place in kind of regulating the complete data needs, including the security aspect, and also most important thing is the compliance, right? So there is a lot of data which is extremely secure, which we wanted to keep it that way for business purpose. We don't want to leave it open because even just for everybody's learning purpose, over 70% of the data breaches doesn't occur from outside; it comes from inside. So we have to be very cautious about what information is kept open, right? So that's another important thing which comes along with catalog. And also once we have this data in a clean and secure and completely consolidated into data lake, there's a lot of things we can do with that, right? So we can create some beautiful data analytics program out of it. It can be extensive data science work. If you want to do ML, AI into the organization for important decision making, and also to understand all the anomalies, different sets of deviations that happening within the business climate, so how quickly we can readjust. So a lot of interesting things can be solved. And I won't go into the depth of all of that. That I'll like to keep it as a separate. Today, I want to focus first on understand your data. How do you understand your data with proper profiling and some of the tool sets that we offer, right? And then how do you consolidate all this information into one place? How you can cleanse, basically getting the data prepared for doing all this final business consumptions, right? And what changes it brings to the table, we have the no-code platform for pretty much all of the complete end-to-end data management needs. That's a unique thing that we provide, and which has for the EDM, enterprise data management, we provide pre-built data modeling, all the data models which you need for consolidating all your data structure if it is coming from structured many enterprise applications. We support a little over 100 plus enterprise applications. So all of that, we have standard data models available, which is inclusive of basically we have a common data model, which kind of intersects with all the different systems, right? So we have that. And so that that takes a long time for people to create the data modeling and the extraction of information, how effectively the data quality, embedded quality can be put on top of this model, how the data ingestion, the pipelines are built. All of that is here done. Mostly 80% of it is pre-built, and then the remaining 20% you can do some tweaking on it. So that, let me move on. These are some of our customers currently utilizing our products. Canon has been using this for over 13 years. A lot of other manufacturing, pharmaceutical, heavy, if you look at automotive, and there is high tech, and there is aerospace, there is also healthcare, and oil and gas, retail. So there's a bunch of different verticals that we have successfully done this in the past. Pretty amazing logos, and we can touch on that again. So it's a one-stop shop for data-driven. What we provide as a right from the extraction, where we can extract the information, assessment of that, and then build all the pipelines to move it into a data storage area. It can be Amazon or Azure, or it can be Databricks, or it can be Snowflake, any of those. And we provide pretty much open connections. We have a handshake with all of these data storage platforms, so we can give you a complete freedom to pick whichever you want. And we can also give you the suggestion based on what kind of a data. There's a structured, unstructured, sensors, images, videos, what type of information you are more interested in, right? So that plays a significant role in picking up what kind of a system will be more appropriate for you. And even if you buy any system, how you configure that, how you administer those channels, or how many ever schemas that we create, we wanted to properly do that. And then the data privacy, we want to make sure the data is protected, which is lands on the data storage. We want to make sure right from the beginning, different landing zones, all the PII is properly identified, and the privacy is maintained. And then the data catalog, giving you the complete capability of full understanding, both from the technicalities and also from the business perspective for data. So it gives a complete 360-degree view of all your data. And then once you have this clean, complete information, and you have a data governance set up on top of this centralized data model, you can open it up for the business to consume that. How effectively they can consume, you can give them a very good dashboards, or you can do interesting machine learning, AI-driven models for data science. If you want to create a full application, if you want to create some application on top of it, mobile application portals, you can also do that with a smart app builder. And also we have the data exchange, which enables, if you want to monetize or you want to share your data with other third-party companies or partners, that is another great thing that you can accomplish as well. So this is a simple enterprise data management flow, which I'm going to today demonstrate as well. I'm going to take the middle portion, Oracle and SAP, today as the source systems. So we're going to assess those two systems, see what kind of problems, data management problems it has. And then we're going to take the master data first and then move it into the changes platform to do all the data quality improvements. And then once it is improved, we're going to move that back into the data lake, which is the bronze, silver. These are schemas within the data lake, right? It can be a Snowflake or it can be a Azure Synapse, or, and I'm going to use Azure Synapse in this scenario. So the cleansed and complete data moves into the common data model, which is a kind of aggregated data model, which can support all of the source systems. And then the third portion, we are also now ready to move the transactions from the bronze, but we wanted to harmonize the transactions, because as the master data gets harmonized, it is going to be key for us to also harmonize the transactional data. So that's what is happening here. So that the silver layer of our enterprise data lake comprises of clean master and also clean transactions out there from all the different source systems. And then we wanted to go into this gold model, where we maintain all the facts and multiple dimensions against each of the facts, and then the KPIs or measures that are essential. We bring out of the box all of these facts, dimensions, and KPIs for all the many business clusters, like customer cluster, employee cluster, which is employee and all the related transactions, supplier, projects, fixed assets, there's plenty of equipments cluster. So we can bring all those things together, right, in the form of facts, dimensions, and KPIs. And then finally, the final business consumption layer, which is the reporting, which can be done through changes or any other external tools, which is what used for the final analytics or any kind of a data visualization, or you want to create some application on top of it. And then we have a much more detailed view. I mean, in each of the steps, like when I'm profiling, are you trying to get from structured, unstructured data, what kind of steps that you can do within the data quality activities. So this is kind of more detailed information. I'm going to skip this and move on. These are some of our customers. I think I'm going to move on and get into the product demonstration, so that you guys can have a quick peek into how this system is. I'm going to focus on at least 3-4 areas here: assessment, data consolidation into the data lake, and then the data quality, and then the fourth one, the data catalog and data protection, right? And then there is we'll also look into other analytics and apps, portals. We'll look into that as well. As much time we have, we're going to spend a very productive way, right? I think, Caroline, how are we doing on time? How much time do I have?
Sindhu, we are good on time, Sindhu. We have another 40 minutes.
So let me this is the changes platform. Let me just get out and log in back. So one of our demo environment I'm going to sign on into. So the first thing I want to show you is, we can do a complete profiling of all the different systems. So let me go into one of the, we just collected, multiple source systems. So I just wanted to take this example, which is going to be, I'll take, so you can see the all the source systems, right? So if I'm taking this object or EBS, multiple objects, so you can execute the profiling against any of these systems, right? So it gives us the complete capability to run against any number of systems. For example, I can connect to, any of these systems, right? I can connect to Amazon or Apache, Impala, Databricks, Synapse, right? And also into the Changes platform, and then all the multitudes of cloud application. That's growing today phenomenally. So you have like thousands of cloud applications which you want to connect. And interestingly, most of them support native REST or SOAP APIs or OData services. In some case, it will be kind of microservices that we also expose. So you can see here Innovia, PLM systems, and SAP's, some of the systems, Procore, project management, Workday, SuccessFactors, Salesforce, and then enterprise applications, multiple applications here. So if I'm looking at SAP, so you can see here, you can make, this is a hub and spoke architecture. So you can connect to any number of instances of an endpoint, right? So you can keep connecting as many, and you can build the catalog. So it's a standalone catalog that you're building for on top of all of these enterprise systems and also the data lake, right? So that's what we are interested in, right? So we wanted to get that properly situated, properly done for that. So the output of, if you look at let me go back into the profiles. So if I'm looking at, let me look at one of the specific EDM, the receivable group profiles, for example, looking at the catalog. So here I did profiling, which uses, the source system, which I showed you, which is the e-business suite application. And I also had SAP, right? So you can see there is a EBS source profile, which is kind of, we can look at that profile information if you're interested, okay? So you can see this profile has got 17 objects, right? It gives us a quick metadata stat of each and every object. And if you want to have a downloadable report of various stats, or we can drill into each one of these objects, look into some of those stats, what it is, and we can also go through the data governance activity on top of it, right? So the next layer, if you look at it, is the source system we wanted to see is SAP, because SAP, we also picked up all the data. This is only the customer cluster, that too only sales and invoicing, accounting related transaction. There are multiple, we offer 10,000 plus objects that you can consume from these different enterprise applications. That's a real huge workload that we are able to offload off your shoulders and make it happen with the kind of out of the box. So same properties, etc. And then from these two, it is as I showed you here. Let me go back to that diagram. So if you can see here, we're picking data from here, those two sources, and then moving into the bronze, and then into the MDM for doing the data quality, then into the silver, where we're, and also transactions getting synchronized, and then into the gold. So all of these different systems, including the reporting, etc., is what is cataloged. Okay, that's what I'm showing here. Multiple, silver layer. This is the EBS silver layer. So you can see all the objects here, and the bronze layer. And this is the bronze layer for the Oracle system. And finally, the gold layer, what we are looking at as well. So I'll come to the metadata, how we can look into the lineage and all of that. And, but I want to show you the output of this is also easily available for consumption through nice dashboards. So I'll open one of those dashboards for you. So this is the result of the customer assessment, right? So if I go into the output, So this you can plug it in. You're running the profiling engine, which is part of the catalog, and it is building the first step of your metadata and kind of identifying all the anomalies. I'll go through step by step so you can understand how this model is structured, right? So you can see all the customer related stats, which is this cluster as we talked about is a customer cluster. If I go into the customer body, it's going to show me all the information about what is there in the source system, right? And we have the similar model for SAP, Microsoft Dynamics, Salesforce, all the legacy systems like MapX, BPX, JD Edwards, PeopleSoft, Oracle, eBusiness Suite, right? NetSuite. There's a bunch of lots of systems that we have worked with, right? So here you can see you can see by customer category wise, or if I want to see by specific tax information, or I want to see the complete detail, I can also drill down the data into any of this dashboard and keep looking at more stats, right? But interestingly, we want to also see how much. It's also looking at the completeness check. For example, if I look at the accounting information, the customer account detail, so it is showing me about incompleteness. There is about 20 attributes which are having all the incompleteness. So you can see all the column names also, and number of records which are affected: account activation date, established date, liability flag. It's all this important information which is kind of missed out, right? So it kind of identifies those clean information in terms of incompleteness for different set of, it goes across the entire master data model and then produces in a very easy business business can easily understand all of this. And then we also give where all the data have to be enriched, and then deduping a report, which is identifying all the matches within the data. All the commonalities is identified and it is put into a group. So you can see here multiple different groups. So you can also pick a specific group here. So if I want to select just 33 and execute that. So it is going to show me that this is this kind of the name and what kind of address it belongs to. You can put any amount of information here, but it is come from multiple source systems, and it can be an exact match, or it can be something very close matches. So this is all identified through the algorithms, which can be easily configured within the Chainsys data quality engine, so that you can quickly, here we are showcasing all the problem, and that can be fixed with the data quality engine. And then the third information out of the assessment that you get is the functional dependency. It's very powerful. So we're not leaving at just the technical level or just the data quality. I just touched on cleansing and match and merge, but all the transactions, we want to see what is it available in terms of all the transactions related to the customer. So those are available. You can slice and dice in terms of dollars, different dimensions. At various levels, you can slice by, let's say, region, geography, right? If I want to do by customer by a specific region, or I want to choose by specific legal entity by region, or so you can think about all the different dimensions and measures that you want to do. Those are all available here. Okay. And this, what I'm showing is out of the box. It doesn't take much time to get this up and running on your environment. If you have a bunch of enterprise applications that you want to quickly profile and create an assessment out of it, so that you can decide how your enterprise data management journey should be structured. Because the very first step for doing the enterprise data management is performing the assessment work. So once you do that assessment, then you have a much better clarity of how to build this entire enterprise data management journey. So which is the next piece is the consolidating all of the data into the data lake, which we'll touch very shortly, right? And then of course the data quality plays a significant role. I just showed the output of the data quality engine, but we can also see, go in and look at how these tools can be configured, how simple the Changes platform enables you to fix all of the data quality issues, and how effectively you can govern, because there's a workflow. Anytime data comes into place, there's a data ownership, there's a data stewardship, because you want to make sure every attribute, every category, group of attributes, those are owned by certain group of people, like by roles or by departments. So we want to ensure that anytime anybody touches such attributes, that group is intimated, right, for getting the proper approvals, right? So that kind of approval metrics, everything can be established in the Changes platform, so that everything is done very transparent. And once you have the data quality, we have a better understanding of the consolidated data. So this is a technical profile information. If somebody is a more, extremely technical, they want to go deeper into all the stats. So this is like a, pretty much you can think about like we provide like a 20 to 25 stats out of the box. If you want more, there's lots of open configuration that you can do, using which you can get like so much of stats around because this helps in pattern recognition. Because when you look at one of the problems, many times when we look at data problems, there is always a pattern which is associated with that. So always we try to identify the data with the patterns and then see where all the anomalies lies, outliers, anomalies, and then see how this originated, and it's easy to get to the root cause. So the data being the foundation for all of your enterprise application, even unstructured, if you're able to understand your data well, then you can solve many of the root causes, so that the enterprise is running very successfully on a very strong foundation. Okay, I don't want to go too much detail, which we can address at some point. And if you guys have any questions, because we are touching quite a lot of interesting topics, so I'm coming to a kind of a conclusion on the very first step, which is I just at least wanted to give you guys a glimpse of it. Guys, you need to start with a data assessment, which is not too complicated. If I showed you the connections where we can connect to multiple different enterprise applications or unstructured data, whatever you have, and we can try to pull them all into our Changes platform. We're not bringing all the data in, but we just scan through that and then produce very good insights for what we need to look at. How do we structure the enterprise data management work, right? That's what this assessment is all about, right? So with that, let me quickly show you. Okay, now we saw a lot of the data quality problems. So let's see how we can solve them. So I'm going to sign on into the data quality component. So this is the same data, whatever we extracted out of SAP and Oracle, and we're trying to go through, we saw that many issues out there. So this is the platform where you can do data quality, data governance, and other activities, like if you want to do some bulk. Many times the master data, you want to do bulk changes, you can also do that, right? So match and merge is a very important step. And this is a completely configurable platform. So you have a total flexibility in terms of how you do this activity, right? How the inbound data is going to come, how you extract it. We can have any number of services feeding the data into this platform. And most of the time, we continuously get data from multiple different places. It's simply a call, and they might even access our service as an API, and then return false positive or false negative, so that whether they should allow some transaction to happen on the other system, or they want to take a batch approach to get those feedback back to the different systems, right? Or it can be a centralized repository where all the data comes through our platform to kind of the proper data quality activity taken care before it is moved to the downstream systems, or sometimes centralized models. So there are multiple different MDM models, as every one of you must be knowing. So I'll leave it short there. So you can see there is in process, in flight, there's about 235 groups. So it has done all the n into n-1, which you all know, with the conditions. So it has formed that mega table with all the different attributions, giving the scores, or you can have n number of rules, right? So that's the beauty of this. So you can see here, I can also look at from the perspective of all the matches here. It gives me all the matches record. If I want to download and look at it, I can do that. So if I want to see the no matches against this, there's about 25 records. This doesn't have everything, looks like a straight good to go. And if I want to see the groups, I can go inside into the workbench, you can do a lot of activities here, right? You can edit and review. This is pretty amazing stuff, what you can do here. You can come here, and it has already identified the survivor and what all records have to be eliminated based on the rules, right? And it has also got the color coding with respect to the header to the lines. The data itself, you can see here, there are multiple layers of data, okay? If it is simple, sometimes we don't come across that word simple. It's hard to even say that just from the data perspective, but we make the process simple. That's what Changes has done throughout the existence of this organization. And we strive hard and we come out shining colors when we do this, right? So anyway, coming back to this, so you have all of these identified, and if I want to change any of this, like if I wanted to change any of this data, move into a new group or create a subgroup, I wanted to find out audit info against this. So anything, like if I change somebody has taken multiple actions, it is going to show me all those details, right? So info related to how this whole match and merge has been configured, we can take a look at the engine also, right? But I think today you don't have much. I just want to come here and show you that we can not only show the problem, it's very easy to fix this. So for example, if I'm ready to fix this problem, Pinnacle, for example, so I can say, okay, go do the next process, right? And there is a governance workflow activity which gets triggered. So it moves on to the next user for approval, or there is auto approval. It moves into the hub, so you can view all the data which are available there. Or then you can see, if you look into the master data hub, you can always take a look at how the data looks, and you can see all my requests which are out there from multiple different people. So this can be coming in as a new request which you created, or it can be all the completed requests. We can have a look at it as well, right? So pending request, in this case, whatever this is, we not created any manual request, so it's nothing is showing here, right? And so now you saw the data quality, how effectively using the algorithms and stuff you can do this. And so this is one of the key element for that 5 steps to make things easier for you to get data driven, right? And another important piece is the data consolidation, building all the pipelines, so which I'll quickly show you, and then we can jump into the question answer. I thought I can do all 5, but I think I might be able to make this third one. So we have already predefined, again, the same connectors for different applications, etc. All of this is available with us, adapters. So if you look at the process flows, these are already the pipelines that is going to be readily available for you to run. For example, if I'm taking the customer, right? If I want to take the specific customer cluster, right? Let me just take that of the object. I'm going to pick up quickly the object name. So let me just pick up this. So you can have a look at it. You can execute this process. So all about right. So it's a pretty sleek process. So you can see you can parallelize all of these are 18 set of data sets moving out of, in this case, the Oracle, moving into the bronze layer. So that adapters fully packaged into a flow available for you to execute. And all these activities, like if I want to get some approvals put in place, if I want to send some notification, right, introduce some more constructs before I do this. So any simple to complex needs of your data pipeline is very effectively, we have handled like billions, trillions of data with this platform. So this is a completely highly scalable from both horizontally and vertically. So you can go to any extent. This is a distributed computing model. So you have a fullest flexibility to accommodate all your data needs. So that is another sweet thing I want to leave within your mind. So going back, I just wanted to go back to this 5 steps for data-driven innovations. Touched on the assessment, and we also looked at the data consolidation layer, which is very essential for how do we consolidate all the data into the data lake. And again, we talked about it is no programming. It's got all the out-of-the-box adapter approach, so that it is more like a hey, James says I want to do this. I want to move this data from here to there into the lake. So you have all the complex adapters and the mappings already available, which is what is going to be utilized for you. And then again, they're going to figure out, hey, what kind of a problem do I have with my data? It finds all of that, reports to you, and then we say, okay, these are all the, then there is still you need a human workflow to identify the false positive, false negatives, so that your data quality is done with the proper data governance, right? So that's taken care. And then the data catalog. I couldn't go too much. I did the piece of it for just assessment, which is, I'm going to leave that for probably next session. It's a very interesting part, how you want to govern your data and how you want to protect your data using the catalog, right? And then the last layer is the data analytics apps. We want to keep that also sometime, very shortly. And if you guys are coming to the Gartner conference, chances will be there next week. We can meet up, and we'll be in full force. We have this time a booth as well. Our booth is 549. I repeat, 549. So if anybody, I will put it out, we'll send you guys an email as well. So you can drop by, right? With that, I'm going to open up the floor for a few of your questions, which is always very encouraging for us. Let me take a look at some of the questions, what is out there, and start answering them.
Sure, Sindhu. Thank you so much. Feel free to shoot in your questions. We are just waiting for questions to come in.
I'm gonna, I think a few questions around the architecture. You look at the product architecture. This is completely developed. This is all the IP belongs to Chainsys, right? And we are completely a Java shop. And now we also use Node.js for the application building. Other than that, it is extensive Java application. That's what it is built on. If you guys want to know more in depth on the technical architecture of the product, it is information is available on the website. You should look for this, search for technical architecture. You should be able to find that, right? And then I think a question around what all enterprise application we support. And we support all the major enterprise applications like Oracle, SAP, Workday, Microsoft, Salesforce. We are, that's like a, if you want to group it, it's like a ERP systems, MES, CRM, HCM, all the big data application databases, NoSQL, email, any kind of unstructured data, like PDFs, even OCRs. So all of that is, nicely supported with our platform, right? And how business friendly, we have created this application in keeping business users on the forefront. So because that's only, we created a no-code platform, completely a no-code for over 15 years. So this innovation is not possible overnight. It's been something in works for a very long period of time. And we did this keeping in mind the business users, comfort. So that's a great takeaway for you guys in terms of business users, how effectively you can use this platform. And it'll be tremendously useful and easy. Customer experience goes, this is going to be so simple and easy to use to solve your huge problem. That's a benefit, right? So if I can solve a cancer with a small medicine, how good it is. That's what we're talking here, guys, right? So that's if you can get it, why not, right? So that's the beauty of this application. And then how about the implementation? Yeah, Chainsys is we have over 1,500 people. Out of that, about 600 dedicated on the products, fully data engineering and all of that. And then remaining helps on the services angle. And we also support global customers because we are a global company. We are on the East Coast and West Coast in the US, and also in Canada, of course, in Europe and Middle East and Far East in Singapore and India. So we can support any kind of a demand that you might have. And also we work with many partners, large to small partners, boutique data focused partners. So we can bring multitudes of options that might be helping you to make your project. We work with government, yes. We have great government agencies that utilizing the product, and also on the certifications. I just want to share that. We do have a SOC certification. We have a ISO, CMMI certified organization. So it kind of gives you a peace of mind, and most of the today's security aspects which goes around the cloud computing, most of it we have it. So we can touch on that with your InfoSec team at the right time too. And I think we have maybe 3 or 4 more questions we can take. On the adapters list, how this becomes a no-code, we have created a complete engine for every single application. which is able to reverse engineer all the coding standards that is used within that application for extraction, loading, and reconciliation, or even the mapping, like a physical and logical mapping between one to the other, is also available with chainsaws. So that brings problem solving with the multiple different other activities, like not only EDM. Like if you look at data integrations, that problem is phenomenally quicker solved, right? 90, sometimes 100% acceleration for you out of the box. If you want integration for SAP to Avalara, or SAP with the Oracle, or SAP with the Snowflake, or something. So we can touch on. We work with the thousands of such integration endpoints. So would love to touch on that. And how much time? Time is always it's a hard question to answer. How much time does it take to do this? It depends, right? We have done things. We can put this, as I told you. We can just it's just a you can turn it on and run this whole process within like let's say 3 to 4 weeks, and then start giving you the results in a matter of 5 weeks, 6 weeks kind of thing, making sure the QC, everything is done. So from 6th week onwards, you want to get a lot of data to look at, and then how effectively we can solve this problem. So generally the assessment, initial profiling can take 4 to 6 weeks time, right? Depends on number. If it is just a one standard system, let's say it's going to take 2 days, right? Not even 2 days, let's say 2 hours. So it all depends on what, but generally most of the enterprises are not that simple. So that's why you need that 4 to 6 weeks time. And so that's kudos to us. Yeah, of course the team deserves that. It's all very good work which we've been doing, and we'll continue to do that. And, looking forward to meeting you all at the Gartner conference, and wishing you very, very wonderful day. Thanks for this opportunity. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Cindy, for that insightful session. Uh, you let us know how data consolidation, data quality, data catalog, data protection, analytics helps us to become a data-driven organization. Thank you all once again for joining today's session. We look forward to seeing you on our upcoming webinars. We will also write to you, and do have a great day. Thank you so much.